Global tensions are on the rise. Nordic governments are telling their citizens to prepare for war, and the US government has just made a decision that could escalate the conflict in Europe. What does this mean for us as preppers? In this episode of Preppers News, we're breaking down these developments and looking at how it could affect us in these uncertain times. Welcome to Preppers News from Preppers Paradigm, where we bring you the latest updates and insights on global events that matter to the prepping community. Before we dive in, I want to quickly mention that I use a computer-generated voice for these videos due to an injury that makes my own voice difficult to understand. In today's Preppers News, we'll explore two major but related stories: Nordic countries advising their citizens to prepare for potential war, and the United States authorizing Ukraine to use American long-range missiles inside Russian territory. These developments have serious implications for preppers, and by the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what's happening and what you can do to prepare. Let's start by looking at the growing concerns in Nordic countries. Recently, several governments in Northern Europe have taken significant steps to prepare their citizens for potential crises, including the possibility of war. These actions reflect the increased tensions in the region and underline the importance of individual preparedness. Sweden, for example, has updated its widely recognized pamphlet, In Case of Crisis or War. This guide provides practical advice on how citizens can protect themselves during emergencies, with recommendations to stockpile essentials such as food, water, and medicine. It's designed to help families survive independently if infrastructure is disrupted or if there's a sudden escalation of conflict. Finland has released an online survival guide that outlines steps for residents to take in the event of a military conflict. This guide emphasizes the importance of staying informed, securing shelter, and having access to critical supplies. Norway and Denmark are also following suit. Both countries have issued similar preparedness advice, encouraging their populations to be ready for emergencies of all kinds, not just war. The focus is on self-reliance, which aligns closely with the core principles of our prepping community. What does this tell us? These governments are recognizing that their citizens need to take personal responsibility for their safety and readiness. They're also acknowledging that official resources may not be sufficient during a widespread crisis. This is something we as preppers have always understood. If even these stable, developed nations are prioritizing preparedness, it's a reminder for all of us to revisit our own plans. Make sure your stockpiles are up to date and diversified, that your emergency plans account for a variety of scenarios, and that your household knows what to do if the unexpected happens. The message here is clear. Being ready for emergencies isn't just for preppers anymore. It's a mindset that governments are actively encouraging. The guides are worth reading. I've added links to English language versions in the video description. Now, let's turn our attention to a major development in the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. The United States has recently authorized Ukraine to use long-range American missiles, specifically the Army tactical missile systems, to strike targets inside Russian territory. This marks a significant escalation in U.S. involvement in the conflict. Just hours after this decision was announced, reports emerged that Ukraine had fired the first of these missiles at a Russian border region. While the exact details of the strike are still unfolding, it's clear this move is a game changer. The missiles have the range and precision to target key infrastructure and military sites far behind the front lines, giving Ukraine a significant tactical advantage. Predictably, Russia has reacted strongly to this development. The Kremlin has warned that the use of these missiles would be considered an escalation and that it could trigger retaliation. While the nature of this retaliation remains uncertain, the potential for a wider conflict is clear. Adding to the complexity of the situation, Russia has recently updated its nuclear doctrine. President Vladimir Putin has authorized changes that lower the threshold for using nuclear weapons. Under the revised policy, Russia could deploy nuclear weapons in response to non-nuclear state attacks if those states are supported by nuclear-armed countries. This change coincides with Ukraine's reported use of US-supplied missiles to strike targets within Russian territory. The combination of these factors significantly escalates the conflict and raises concerns about the potential for nuclear engagement. The situation in Europe is complex and rapidly evolving, and it serves as a reminder that preparedness isn't just about responding to natural disasters, it's about being ready for anything. So, how do these global developments affect us as preppers? Both the escalating tensions in Europe and the actions being taken by Nordic countries remind us of the critical need to stay prepared, informed, and adaptable. But the updated information about Russia's revised nuclear doctrine takes this to another level, emphasizing the importance of nuclear preparedness as part of your overall strategy. Let's break this down into actionable steps you can take right now. First, stay informed. With situations like this evolving daily, keeping up with reliable news sources is essential. Focus on updates from credible outlets, but be cautious of sensationalism or unverified claims that could lead to unnecessary panic. Understanding developments like Russia's revised nuclear doctrine allows you to plan accordingly. Second, review and update your emergency plans. Make sure they account for a range of scenarios, including the possibility of a nuclear incident. This could mean identifying the safest areas in your home for shelter, understanding the basics of radiation shielding, and having the necessary resources to shelter in place for an extended period. Next, revisit your stockpiles. In addition to food, water, and medical supplies, learn about nuclear preparedness basics. Take some time to familiarize yourself with what to do in the event of a nuclear attack or fallout. Understanding concepts like time, distance, and shielding can make a significant difference in reducing exposure to radiation. There are videos on the Preppers Paradigm channel with more information about nuclear war and fallout survival. The bottom line is this: the world is unpredictable, and global events like these highlight the importance of staying prepared for a wide range of scenarios. By staying informed, updating your plans, and being proactive, you're taking control of your readiness, no matter what challenges arise. Remember, prepping isn't about fear, it's about readiness and resilience. And in times like these, those qualities are more critical than ever. Before we wrap up, let's quickly recap what we've covered. These developments, from the Nordic countries encouraging their citizens to prepare for crises, to the U.S. decision to supply Ukraine with long-range missiles, and Russia's updated nuclear doctrine, are stark reminders of how quickly global situations can shift. For preppers, they underscore the importance of vigilance, adaptability, and proactive planning. The key takeaway here is this: preparedness isn't just a lifestyle, it's a necessary mindset in an increasingly unstable world. By staying informed about global events, maintaining well-rounded stockpiles, and ensuring your emergency plans are up to date, you're positioning yourself to weather whatever challenges may come. If you found this information useful, don't forget to like this video, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to Preppers Paradigm for more updates and insights. This has been Preppers News from Preppers Paradigm. Stay informed, stay prepared, and as always, take charge of your readiness. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.